Good morning, friends. This is Mrs. Rodemaker Smith with our morning work for day one. Oop, I got a Gmail. There might be some confusion. If you look in your binder, it is entirely possible that the pages got mixed up and out of order. So if you just want to turn to the page that has our sight word of the day as turn and work on that, that's fine. If you want to go through and find the video out of the four of them for this week, that has the first word on it, that is fine too. It is entirely your choice. So the first thing I do is always the same. I pick up my pencil and I write my name on that top line. Takes me a little bit to do. My name is very long. And then I'm going to hop down to the very bottom because it's going to ask me for the date. Today is Monday. Remember, you might want to do this part on another day. Uh-oh, go away. Sometimes I turn my pen. And it's the last day of August, August 31st, 2020. Usually on the day of the 31st, I like to go to Baskin Robbins. They sometimes have a sale on ice cream. So I'll try to tap that in my head as I remember this. Let's talk about our sight word of the day. I've already mentioned it once. We're going to say it. It's T-er-n. Turn. Now I'm going to trace it with my pencil. T-U-R-N. Practice working on that. And then I'll write it. And I'm going to try to write very neatly. I'm writing on a tablet right now. I almost wrote tablet, so mine isn't the best writing, and I'm going to use it in a sentence. Now, earlier I said you can turn to the page with the word turn on it. I'm going to use a command, so I'll start with the word turn. It's a verb, and I make it capital. Turn to, and I'm going to use the word today's. And I put the apostrophe because today is going to own what I say next. Turn to today's morning work. Now this is a sentence. It's a telling sentence. It's a command, so it ends with a period. You can use turn in your very own sentence. Just make sure you have a capital letter at the beginning and the appropriate end mark at the end. If you need to pause the video to finish your sentence, that is completely fine. I'm going to move on. For our fix-it sentence, there are 5 letters I always remember. C, P, R, S, N. C stands for capitalization, and I know 2 very important places that I always capitalize. The first one is at the beginning of the sentence, so when I look at my sentence, I see it starts with a small I, and that is not good. The second place I capitalize is with people's names. Special names, they are called proper nouns, and I capitalize those. But when I look at the sentence, it is cloudy outside. I do not see any names. So if I just get that first letter capitalized, I'm good. Punctuation, the first thing I'm going to look for is an end mark, and I see I don't have one. So I have to figure out what kind of sentence this is. It is cloudy outside. Is that a statement or a telling sentence? I would need a period. If this sentence is a question or asking sentence, I would need a question mark. If this sentence is excited, I would need what's called an exclamation mark, which is very fun to use. But I'm going to think about this. It is cloudy outside. This is a telling sentence, so I'm going to end it with a period. Now, in my sentence, I don't see any apostrophes like I had up here. Whoop, whoop. I don't know what that did, but it was weird. And I don't see any, compound words or contractions like we had last week. So I think we're good on punctuation if we just put that in there. I'm curious as to what my little machine is doing today. I wonder if I can save this. Ooh, interesting. I'm just playing with my technology here. All right, I'll get back to work. Next is the R. That's for right order. Does my sentence sound right? It is cloudy outside. That does sound like I've used the words correctly, so I can cross that off. No past tense when it should be present, and it's kind of weird. But I do see a spelling error right away. That's correct. It is the word is. It is spelled I-S. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups, not I-Z. Outside you might think is two words, but that's actually a compound word. So our third graders were talking about those this week, and that's okay. So it's time now for me to write it neatly. You'll have to forgive me. My machine is in a different mode, and I'm not sure how I got there, but I'm learning how to use new technology. It is cloudy. We zoomed in again. Outside. Notice how the Y in cloudy goes under the line. And I noticed that in morning work too. Today's morning work. Turn to, I have to get that back up there. It's driving me nuts. Somehow I didn't get that done. So take a moment to write it very neatly. You can pause the video here if you need to, but take a moment to write the sentence neatly. All right. The next question is asking us for the base word of unhappy. Sometimes we can change what the word means by adding what at the beginning we call a prefix, or at the end we call a suffix. This particular word, if I look at it and I think of unhappy, unhappy means that I am not happy. So my base word is happy, and my prefix un means not, and I'm shaking my head. But I will just put a big cross through that because un means not happy. My base word is happy. We changed it from a smiley face to a frowny face with that prefix. This next question is a little tricky for some people, so I want to take a minute to go over it. In your math section for day 1, you have a number grid, and I want you to keep that at home because it's a very important tool as we get started in 2nd grade. I'm going to kind of do, oh my goodness gracious, what are you doing here? Okay, hang on. Now I've got to pause. I might have to pause or edit out this video. Let's see, view, pens. There's my different pens. I don't really like this though. Nope, don't want that one. I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. Nope, I don't want the drawing menu. Here's the eraser tool. Let's see, let's try that. Now we'll go back into view mode. Okay, I'm going to write down my number 42. Squeeze that back in. Maybe I'll slide it over. And I'm going to pretend this is a number grid. When I go up a row on the number grid, I take away how many? That's right. The ones digit stays the same, and I take away 1 from the tens digit. So right above 42 is 32. Right above 32 is 22. Right above 22 is 12. And right above 12 is 2. And you notice the 2's never change in the ones place, but the ones, or the tens place, does. Now, it wants us to draw tally marks to show a number that is 30 less than 42. So we're going to start at 42. And remember, every row we go up, we take away 10. And we want to take away 30 total. So 10, 20, 30 lands us at 12. Now it's time to draw our tally marks for 12. Tally marks come in groups of 5, and I might make mine a little different. Sometimes being left-handed, I make things a little different. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we cross. Okay. Where did the pens go? Oh, hang on. I got to go to my pens here for a second. And I'm going to go to this one, and I want the color to be black. And then I'm going to go back to my view. All right, so here we go. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we cross over on the fifth one. 6, 7, 8, 9. Cross over on the fifth one, or 10. And then we have 1, 2, all by themselves. And notice that I separated those tallies with about a finger space so that they were easy for for whoever's looking at this to read. All right, we're going to move on. Again, I hope you have that number grid handy. It is a good tool. And when you have it, you can start with the bigger number when you're adding. What's this do? I got this little number flashing. I'm going to start with 13, and I'm going to add 4. So I draw 4 little marks, and I count up because I'm adding. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and I land at 17. Those little marks right there are just to help me. Again, I have 10 as my big number. I'm going to add 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll start at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, on this one, I'm going backwards. I start at 9, but I go back 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I start at 9 and I go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 plus 7, does that equal 9? It does. So 9 take away 7 would be 2. 8, we're going to start at 8 and we're going to take away 6. So let me draw my 6 little boxes. And remember, you can start at 8 and go back 6 places. So I'm going to count backwards. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. That makes sense. 2 plus 6 does equal 8. Go ahead and pause if you still need some more time. I'm going to go over to this next question because this week we're going to do some review of place value. Should be on the second day of your, I'm sorry, I lied. I'm doing my plans for next week. Next week is when we're going to actually go over place value. But I want to give you a hint to get you started. That's why we do morning work. It reviews so many things. And I always like to think of the term H2O. First of all, it reminds me of water, which I should always drink. So I'm going to take a quick sip. But water is H2O. In high school, that means something important. Here in second grade, HTO means hundreds, tens, and ones. So in the number 100, I have 100. 40, for T is for tens. 8 is 8 ones. Now I can tell really easily which number is in the tens place. That's right, it's the 4. So that's the one we're going to circle. All right, I come up, our last task for morning work is a word problem. And the first thing I do is write out RUTAC. Whenever I see a word problem for math, excuse me, that was a sneeze. I caught it in my elbow though, so that's important. Just like when I go to my fix-it sentences, I use CPRSN to remind me of capitalization, punctuation, right order, spelling, and neatness when I'm writing. In math, with word problems, I do RUTAC. Read, underline, think, attack, and check. So we'll start with reading. Touch the words as I read them. Mia jumped through 7 puddles on the way home. Alex jumped through 11. How many more puddles did Alex jump through? Draw a picture and write a number sentence. So we've read the problem. I can cross that off. Now I'm going to go through and underline the question. What am I trying to find out? Well, I look for my question mark and I work backwards. How many more puddles did Alex jump through? Now, part of underlining for me is also going through and looking for numbers. Numbers are usually pretty easy to spot if they're written in numbers and not in words. Sometimes they get tricky that way. But I see 7, and I'm going to circle puddles. That's my unit. Because remember, they want to know puddles. So I'll put that in my unit box. And I see the number 11. So now I'm going to look for a keyword. And this keyword shows up in our question. It says, how many more? Well, when we're looking for more, we're probably going to subtract. So now I need to draw a picture. And I'm going to start by drawing Mia and her 7 puddles. And I'm going to draw them very neatly, and I'm going to draw them in a line. And there's a reason for that here. If you just give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, I can't count. I've got 6. Now I'm going to draw Alex's puddles. And notice I'm going to draw Alex's puddles right underneath Mia's. There's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, I did that for a very important reason. The reason I set mine up this way is because I want to find out what this magic number is. I'm going to take away every single puddle that Mia and Alex jumped in together. Now I'm starting to attack the problem. And so it's pretty easy for me to see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 puddles that Alex did not, or that Alex jumped through that Mia did not. But we still need a number sentence. So let's look at Alex. Alex started with how many puddles? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we took away, or we crossed off, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the same number Mia jumped through. So 11, take away 7, equals 4. And it would make sense that Alex did not jump through more puddles than 11. So 4 is the right answer. I can prove it with my picture. So my answer looks great. And that is our morning work for day 1.